team they are for each matchup. But that's what separates the Eagles. They're never dead. I don't think the Eagles are ever dead with Jalen Hurts. And Colin, we heard a lot of hoopla about Hurts in the first 2 weeks, not throwing for 200 yards, not getting A.J. Brown the ball, Devontae Smith the ball. I mean, he threw 2 great balls in the red zone for touchdowns to both of them. And A.J. Brown finally had that breakout game that I feel like Eagle fans are waiting for. In a game where Saquon Barkley really was ineffective on the ground.
He's been effective basically all year.
Jalen Hurts was able to step up and make the big plays. And I could say, even though the statistics haven't been there for Hurts in the first 2 games, Kyle, the game against Dallas, he was running all over the field. He was dicing them up in the first halves, picking up first downs against the Cowboys. And then the week after that against the Chiefs, I'm over the tush push. We could get into that if you want to, Kyle. But listen, the tush push was on full display against the Kansas City Chiefs. And that was a difference maker. And that's Jalen Hurts' play. And for him in the game to have the rushing touchdown, he had 4 touchdowns total. I mean, 3 through the air and the tush push touchdown at the goal line. Hurts won them the game. And a lot of people were on Hurts because of the lack of passing that he had over the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's 19-1 in his last 20 games. 19-1. We said the same thing about Mahomes last year. They just sort of find a way to churn out victories. If you watch that game and you're a Jalen Hurts hater and you didn't think that he's, good enough of a quarterback, you could stick anybody in that position. The thing is the Eagles were never really known as the team to be like the Chiefs and to sort of operate with that sort of magic that the Chiefs operate with. And a lot of the reason that they can do that now is not only, yes, they have a plethora of talent all over the field. They outmatch people at receiver. They outmatch people at the defensive line. They outmatch people on the offensive line. They outmatch people basically everywhere. But it's the quarterback position that really is either to keep them calm or to get them back into it. Because not a lot of quarterbacks would come back in that situation like Hurts did. He threw for 200 yards in the fourth quarter. I mean, he was great. And if that doesn't necessarily sell it to you, that when he wants to be, he is still great. He can be great. I don't know how great, but he is. He is a top-of-the-line starter because he's good in big games, and he knows how to get the team to victory. He wins any way he can.
This one reminded you of the Super Bowl.
Right.
I mean, Barkley didn't have a great game in the Super Bowl, but Hurts was able to throw for touchdowns and pick yards up on the ground. It's exactly what happened versus the Rams yesterday. And I do want to give the Rams credit because they play this team tough. Granted, they're 0-4.
Yeah.
At least, listen, this is coming from John O'Terry, a marketing consultant here at ESPN West Palm. I hope I could take him for his word. But the Rams are 0-4 against McVay.
They were 0-2 last year against them.
So, is this the team that they can't get past? But they play them tough, mate. I mean, if I had to have my pick of the litter of teams in the NFC, it's obviously the Eagles, it's the rams, and probably Tampa Bay and Green Bay. And you can put them in any order, even though Green Bay lost to Cleveland. I'm not kicking them to the curb quite yet. But it's like, the Rams are up there as a top team in the NFL and in the NFC. I know that they completely capitulated in that second half.
Yeah, they blew apart.
They really did.
And McVay doesn't lose games when he's leading at half. That's like his big thing.
And that's like, you could blame staff. Who do you blame? Do you blame the offense? Do you blame the guy calling the plays? Do you blame the guy throwing the football?
They had opportunities that they missed out on, but the thing is, they were 2 field goals away from putting the game away. That was it. One to win the game, and the other one to make it a 9-point game with minutes to go.
And we know a coach like McVay, he cannot stomach the 2 block kicks in that game.
So that is the killer. Stafford did not play very well. He didn't play well at all, but they were ready to rock and roll, and they blitzed them especially defensively, blitzed them on the start.
Are the Eagles the new Chiefs that everyone loves to hate?
And you know what they did? I didn't even go to the lengths of saying they took their whole magic in that Super Bowl.
Hear me out on this, because we were all sick of the Chiefs like Kyle, Mahomes, 3 Super Bowls, unbelievable talent, is always coming out of the AFC. The Eagles in 1 year, it took me about 2.5 years to be done with the Chiefs. You know what I mean? After midway through year 3, I'm like, all right, I'm done. You know what I mean? But with this Eagle team, I'm already there. And I think a lot of it has to do with the tush push. I told you I'm done with the tush push. We'll get into that. But the unstoppable weird play that they don't officiate, the tush push, the unbearable Philly fan, and just the way that they win these games, the way that they come back and win some of these games. I think I'm already there being eagled out. I think I'm eagled out. I really do. I think I'm eagled out.
One thing I'll say is I agree. I don't love watching the Eagles, but the one thing about them is teams like that, and especially fan bases like that, they're important for the NFL.
You respect them. No, totally.
It's important for the NFL.
But like
they're good for the league.
They have a new villain. That's why, like, we talk about it.
And Philly loves being that.
Yeah,
like when Boston was good, they got that
right.
blue collar mentality, us against the world, thinking that everybody is up against them, and that type of you said villain is perfect.
Right.
That they embody that, and that's why it's good for the league.
But like, and we talk a lot in the NBA too, and I know it's kind of turned into a dead league, but like in its heyday. When you had the Warriors and the Cavalier rival, you picked a side. You hated both of the teams, but you had to watch.
Even Miami when LeBron was
exactly. So like dynasties are good for sports. It's hard with how the Eagles are winning, and you said it perfectly. They're the new Chiefs in the way that they win these games, and like I feel like they've taken that crown of just the team that's like, oh God, how are they going to do it this week? How are they going to use the black magic to boil up and conjure up a victory this week? And they certainly did that against the Rams.
Yeah, you got to give the Eagles a lot of credit, and more importantly, you got to start to give that quarterback credit because he has played well in playoff games. He even played great in that Super Bowl that they lost. He's a winner. Line every NFL team up, line every head coach up, and ask them if they'd rather have an individual superstar in terms of his talent or a winner. 32 out of 32 would tell you they want a winner.
You just want to win football games.
They just want to win. They want a guy who's going to win us games. That's why Jared Goff has made himself a lot of money. A guy, he can win games. And Hurts has already won a Super Bowl. There are levels to this. If you line him up, against certain other quarterbacks, Caleb Williams is a little bit more talent. Like they're all over the place. CJ Stroud probably is maybe not CJ Stroud now, but like has more talent. There's a lot of players who have more talent. Bo Nix has more talent, maybe, than Jalen Hurts. But the thing about Jalen Hurts is that mentality that he carries, that collectedness, and, the timeliness, the understanding of the position in the team and what he needs to do, that separates him. Similar to Brady. They were more talented, and he's not Brady. There was somebody in the office he said he was Brady. He's not Brady.
Oh, call him out. John O'Terry, marketing consultant.
You're not, please. But the one thing that Brady was great at is Brady would win in any way, any facet. Mahomes turned into that. Mahomes will try to win in any way. There's a reason he leads his team in rushing yards. Patrick Mahomes, that is. He's trying to figure out any possible way they can to win football games. Hurts is cut from that similar cloth. There are a lot of players in this league that if plan A is not going right, they fall apart. There is nothing to do here.
He's a gamer.
There is 6 different ways that the Eagles can beat you. That is their greatest strength. They are not necessarily dominant in like the pass happy. If they're clicking offensively, they can, and nobody can lose. It's similar to the Lions. If the Lions are clicking offensively, you're done.
Yep.
But if that doesn't go well for them, then they're very beatable. That's not the Eagles. Eagles can beat you in a shootout. Eagles can beat you in a grinded out game. Eagles can beat you in a come from behind game. Eagles can blow you out. Eagles can do all this. That's why they're dangerous, because they could win in 100 different ways.
And adding another layer, they could shut you out with that defense. I mean, any given, and I know they kind of got gashed in that first half, but holding them to field goals in that second half, giving their
difference in the game,
giving their offense a chance to get back into the game.
Rams kick 6 field goals. You don't need to kick 6 field goals.
You envy the Eagles and what they're able to do. They're a great team. They're the best team in the NFL. It's the team you all envy now. It's the team we all envy and we all want to be.
You hate the eye test. It was similar last year. Well, you hated the Chiefs' eye test. Oh, they're not that good. They're winning, but like it's ugly every time they're winning. They still made it to the Super Bowl. They were not better than the Eagles, but they still ran through the AFC once again. And that was after they won every single game essentially close, and it was ugly every single time out. The Eagles can win ugly, and they could do it the other way too. They could win pretty. That team showed you something, and more importantly, I think that quarterback shut some people up. I think Jalen Hurts shut some people up. 888-760-3776. He's starting to develop a little bit more respect for how Jalen Hurts conducts himself. Because I think there is something, too, that he didn't even react after Jordan Davis got the blocked field goal and ran it back for a touchdown to win the game. The game was already won, but he didn't even react.
No.
Maybe it's a little put on. Maybe it's a little performative.
Maybe he was upset that it even came to that.
It might be a little performative, but that calmness translates throughout the team. It does. Because he is the fearless leader that they have. And when Sirianni is losing his mind left and right, you get somebody who's there to kind of be the yin to the yang. He's keeping his cool. I've always liked Hurts. I've always respected Hurts, but Hurts showed you everything you need to see yesterday.
Him and that big security guard are keeping
Big
everybody.
Dom.
Is that his name?
Big Dom.
Yeah.
888-760-3776. Number to get into the program on Russo and Rizzo, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X, ESPN West Palm. Were you impressed with the Eagles yesterday? Did they show you something? Did Jalen Hurts show you something? Let us know. 888-760-3776. We have the phone lines open, Christian?
No, I tried to tell you, he hung up. That's what I was
wonderful.
saying to you.